Welcome to Medill Sports Talk, where we break down the news this week for the sports you love. Coming to you from Northwestern's downtown Chicago newsroom, I'm Hogan Davis. Jourdan, Kerl, and Jonathan Skinner are here with me to get you up to speed on a sport quickly gaining popularity in the U.S. Wait, relax, I'm not talking about soccer, but eSports. Any sport that can sell out the Staples Center in less than an hour and has had events with viewership on par with the Super Bowl is worth a deeper dive. Particularly now, just a week after ESPN and the NFL announced a multi-year deal for the network to exclusively broadcast the Madden NFL 18 Championship Series. Jourdan, why is this partnership between the worldwide leader in sports and the NFL so important?
Well, Hogan, I think it's a great question. Honestly, this partnership between the ESPN and the NFL draws in a brand new audience for younger viewers. Let's break down these numbers. For last year's Super Bowl, 111 million viewers. The League of Legends World Championship Series had 106. That's only a difference of 5 million viewers. Now, while that may not seem like much, that is a huge audience if you take into consideration online as well as broadcast. With the combination of those two, you will have a dominant force, and a lot of younger viewers like to watch Twitch and YouTube Gaming, which are streaming platforms for gamers, essentially. So if you look at all that, Madden Championship Series last night had 10,000 viewers, which is huge for this game, and overall, I think more viewers, more money, and everybody loves the Benjamins.
Definitely. What about these competitions are you most looking forward to, though, Jonathan?
Well, personally for me, it's sort of like the Steph Curry effect. You know, you sort of watch Steph Curry play and you think to yourself, well, he's a smaller guy, I can sort of do what he does, but the reality is we can't because he's an incredible athlete, one, but he puts in so much time and work and effort in playing the game. And so when you think about that and you consider the fact that Steph Curry is one of the best players in the world, you sort of can see an analogy to the way that these Madden players like Problem and like Ghost last night who were in that championship game, these guys practice every single day. So the reality is it's fun to watch because you think you can do it yourself, but you really can't. And then another thing is the fact that the partnership overall is going to be a really good thing for Madden because as Jourdan mentioned, they only had a couple thousand viewers, whereas games like League of Legends and Call of Duty get that hundreds of thousands and millions of viewers. So esports, sports games in esports aren't really considered on the same level as these sort of other esports, but overall we look forward to hopefully with this partnership getting something going for sports games in this area.
Definitely. The business of esports isn't just about pro tournaments, though. Dozens of colleges now have competitive esports. There's even a National Association of Collegiate Esports, started just last year, but now has more than 60 varsity teams as its members. What does collegiate gaming look like at the varsity level, Jourdan?
Well, Hogan and Jonathan, I think collegiate gaming on the varsity level looks a lot like Big Ten Network's partnership with Riot Games, the developer of League of Legends. For the Big Ten Network, all 14 conference schools will be participating in the League of Legends tournament this year, which started on January 15th. And now, I think what aspect really distinguishes varsity sports from just regular recreational sports is scholarships. Every student who participates on a League of Legends team will earn a $5,000 scholarship. That is a lot of money, which even though most football teams get full scholarships, basketball get full scholarships, that's huge for esports, which has never had money like that. So I would say easily it's scholarship money, and that's going to be the future for collegiate gaming.
The real question, though, that all the diehard Big Cats fans want to know, how is Northwestern's team going to do?
Well, to be honest, we'll find out because it's still really early in it. And I'll say one more thing to Jourdan's point about the scholarships. You know, personally, I'm 110% behind scholarships for playing video games. I wish I would have known about it before I came to school because of the fact that my parents were totally against it, as I'm probably sure a lot of our parents were. So really, I think this is a great thing. We'll see how Northwestern does, but it's still early and it's sort of infancy stages here for sports gaming at the college level. But we'll see how it goes from there.
The sport's growth is undeniable. The perception, though, is that this is still a niche sport outside of Asia. During the League of Legends Championship last year, we mentioned there were more than 100 million viewers, and that was 100 million viewers in China alone, just a fraction of that in the US, though. Where does North America stand in the esports landscape, Jourdan?
Well, I definitely would say that North America has room for growth and room for opportunity. So the main factor that I think, because North America kind of struggles and is kind of behind, it needs to do a recruiting effort similar to how the NBA and NFL do with collegiate gaming, as I mentioned last segment. So I would definitely say that if you get those younger gamers that are in the collegiate area into that pipeline, develop them, get the right coaches behind them, trainers like many of the teams do have, then they'll develop, they'll grow, and then when they're in that professional team, they'll be ready to play and compete on the same level with our international counterparts, which have already solidified their positions as powerhouses in esports.
Do you see that status changing, Jourdan? We've talked about, or how do you view the environment of esports in North America?
Well, there's no question that overall North American teams have really struggled in these major competitions. For the first time ever, Cloud9 was able to be the first North American team to win the Counter-Strike Global Major Championship in the E-League. So we're seeing progress, but the reality is that Asian teams and European teams really dominate when it comes to esports, especially esports outside of the normal sports game arenas like FIFA and Madden 2K. Then another thing is the fact that so we don't really do that great as far as competitiveness goes, but as far as the money side is, North America actually puts in a large percentage of the revenue that goes into esports. So we'll see if we can continue to grow competitively while still bringing in the most money, because right now, North America brings in about 36% of the global market for esports.
So it's like everything else. You just got to follow the money and see where it's going.
True.
All about the
True.
Benjamins.
All right. If you're new to the esports world, like I'm sure some of you are, wondering exactly what we're talking about, we've got you covered. In honor of the 23rd edition of the Winter Olympic Games, gearing up in a few short weeks in esports-obsessed South Korea, we're going to do a little game of association. Jonathan, you get to start. Give me 2 of your favorite video games and the Olympic sports they kind of align with, compared to.
Well, one of my first favorite video games is definitely Call of Duty. And I sort of see it in a way of like snowboarding. You know, snowboarding is really that sort of sport in the Olympics that people enjoy watching. People want to actually get out and do if they're able to. But Call of Duty is sort of in that same way. It's a really fun and exciting game, and it's very popular in the esports community. Another game that I absolutely love is both Madden and as well as 2K, just because I'm a sports fan. But as far as the esports community goes, they're not really all that popular. So they sort of remind me of curling. You know, you watch it in the Olympics and you see it on television, but would you pay to go see a curling match? Probably not. And esports fans don't really pay to go see Madden or 2K tournaments, unfortunately, right now.
Before ESPN started broadcasting.
Very true.
So
Very
that
true.
might make a difference.
Very true.
All right, Jourdan, same thing. 2 games, 2 sports. What do you got?
Okay, so for my first one, I'm going to take a little bit of a different route and go with a fighting game. I'm going to go with Super Smash Brothers. For me, I would compare Super Smash Brothers to figure skating. Now, while you don't think of Super Smash Brothers as the most eloquent sport, there are pairs or you can play as a solo player. But one misstep, one bad performance, maybe you miss your landing like you would in figure skating, then your whole game is over. You could lose the game. And then I'm going to go ahead and compare League of Legends to ice hockey. There are huge fights in League of Legends that can turn the tide of the game. Ice hockey also has a lot of big fights. So if you like that type of thing, you may enjoy League of Legends. However, I would also say that because it's a team sport and every single player has to effectively play their position to win the game, that's why I would compare it to ice hockey.
Guys, thanks for not taking the easy way out and just comparing the shooting games to the biathlon. Appreciate it.
No problem. No problem.
No problem.
All right. Now that all of our viewers have rushed off to grab their console and start working on winning a scholarship, we'll call it a wrap. Check out our extended Olympics coverage next week and a look ahead at the upcoming NBA All-Star Weekend, all on our YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at Medill Sports Talk, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. For Jourdan, Jonathan, and our crew, I'm Hogan Davis. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.